consider great issues and what's impactful. A lot of times we come into these with the idea, with the precept that we don't know anything. Whenever you make a comic, whenever you read a comic, you cannot know everything, even with the internet. So you have to build all these things into the story naturally. Why do you love comic books? Do you love comic books for the completely different, the completely forgotten, and the books that are cheaper than dirt? This is American comic book reading, not American comic book collecting. Welcome back to the channel. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69. You guys like Night Thrasher? You like Night Thrasher 16? This is getting entered into the greatest single American comic book issue of all time. This is a growing playlist on this channel. The playlist started as soon as I started to drop these episodes because I wanted to document and share the experience with everyone and potentially inspire you to argue and to bring counterpoints to what I say. Everything that makes this issue great is everything we need right now in American comic books, but we're not getting it. So, outside of getting hyped of having a Marvel Legends action figure, we're going to learn about Night Thrasher, and we're going to want more of this guy, of this character, of this crime fighter. We're going to want more, and that's the intent of every single comic book issue within a monthly continuity run. This issue is highly significant. It makes us want to read it over and over. And again, that's one of our big criterias for this list. Does it make you want to read everything that came before? And do you want to read what comes next? That is the low barrier to entry, just to introduce yourself to the list. But then again, this is interesting because we're dealing with characters everyone's not too familiar with, not too popular. We're dealing with situations we don't know of. But I will say this, knowing that this series ends very soon, it's heartbreaking because I really feel like they were cooking with this one. So let's hit the drawing table. And let's have a look at Money Don't Buy right here. So let's hit that drawing table. Let's get yourself some of that Prime aka powders full of forever chemicals just for you. Tropical Punch, Prime Hydration. Guys, it's the 90s. We're doing a lot of things new. We're doing a lot of things different on this channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Issues like this, comics like this, make me love comics. Let's get these out of the way. To me, this screams an era. Just from the typeface, the graphic design, the range of colors. Everyone, like, aka Padders, every character in the 90s had a full mask. Some of the ones from before, like Prowler here, got resurrected because he's got a full mask. Remember, Todd McFarlane's work on Prowler in Amazing Spider-Man laid the groundwork for Spawn. I know a lot of people say, oh, he created Spawn in high school. Yes, but when he drew Prowler, it was Spawn. There you go. I just think about this cover, and I think about like young Timmy at his grandma's reading comics. And maybe he leaves it out, like goes outside to touch grass. We would play a lot of football in my old neighborhood. But do it, you go outside, get some exercise, and you leave this maybe on an ottoman or on the side table. And Grandma walks by and she sees it and she picks it up and and she just says to herself, like, "Night Thrasher, beware the prowler." And everyone here just looks villainous. Like you think this is like you think these three, they're going to make trouble for someone. Here's the wild thing: these are the good guys, and the good guys wear a full face mask. I absolutely love how this issue begins. Money Don't Buy Part 2. In for a penny. Fry Night Thrasher. His name is Flashburn. Several of the local drug lords have hired him to protect incoming narcotic shipments. I have a problem with that. And we see Night Thrasher just getting completely nuked. Kurt Busiek, he's one of the greatest writers of all time. He's still with us. He's still working. Is he on anything prominent nowadays? I would say no. But he does have a golden era. Art Nichols does the artwork here. And Art Nichols gives us the 90s ferocity, the volume, the excitement, the motion. So, Flashburn here. They get into a little scuffle, and Flashburn, takes a hike because Night Thrasher shows him a picture. I still have the negatives. What do you want? Ditch the mask, get out of town. So Night Thrasher is just blackmailing people. I love it. I adore it. Flashburn here, right? Usually when it comes to characters that represent fire in some way, we get different color palette. He's straight up silver. He's got a million tubes, and he looks like I want to say there's a character in Jim Valentino's The Others that just echo this guy. There was a lot of, we're going to steal your attention, we're going to do what you're doing when it comes to Marvel, DC versus Image Comics. But yeah, Flashburn's, he's out. And then look at this page. Look at this flashback page with the money trickling down, making all the borders, aka padders. Tell me this doesn't make you absolutely love 90s comics. Look at the work put into this. Knowing that this is practical, knowing this is on a physical comic book page, we're not digital yet. Totally impressive. So we go through the sequence here where Night Thrasher, he's using his family's fortune. Dwayne Taylor, I'm the new owner of this company. I understand these trucks have been used to transport illegal drugs. You're all fired. So he's using his resources on two fronts, right? He's funding his superhero solo effort. He's using his, I guess, like philanthropy, right? Philanthropy. But he's using, like he's doing it in business and he's doing it on the streets. He's also using all of this money to funnel into the New Warriors. And AKA Padders, please forgive me. I'm not up to speed on my New Warriors knowledge. What is this dude? The guy, the kid with the helmet and the H. I know this is Justice. This is Nomura, right? This is Nova. Who's this? Because this kid has some words in the next couple pages. Please let me know down below if you are familiar with New Warriors at this time. I do want to do New Warriors deep dive because I love how very similar to Thunderbolts, how Thunderbolts were introduced in Incredible Hulk, got their own series. New Warriors introduced in Thor, got their own series. I love the way Marvel was introducing new teams during this time. Yeah, so we get our boy over here, Mr. Big. Rage is the only member I'm personally responsible for. He came to live with me after his grandmother was killed. And Rage is just like a teenager. He's just like a big kid. He kind of looks like Shaq. You kind of want to say that he used Shaq, that Art Nichols used Shaq as a model. So
Night Thrasher here, he is just unhinged. He gets into a big fight with everyone, and he essentially quits the team with this kid, this bicycle helmet kid, mouthing off with Speedball over here. This is pre-Civil War Speedball, by the way. But Speedball, I don't know. He's like lured on the couch in True Romance. He's just like, I don't know, high and drunk. But he brings Rage with him, and they, did we just quit or what? Wait, how can we? You fund the group. So, Night Thrasher he's just so upset. Look, you'll regret this, I can tell. Like, who is this kid mouthing off to Night Thrasher? And look at this pose by Art Nichols, guys. Look, and I love that cross-hatching on the belt there. Who is this kid? So we're already a few pages in. And when we discuss, like, what are the greatest comic, what are the good single issues, what really qualifies, we're a few issues in. And we have one new character. Now, this could be a character, right, that's in part one. I don't know. I never read part one. I don't even know what the cover looks like for part one. We get an ending of one adventure as another begins. Within a couple pages, we understand the entire history of Dwayne Turner, Night Thrasher, where he lies in the Marvel Universe, what he's doing. We know some of his motivations. Within 5 pages, we know that he's so frustrated, he's breaking the one member that's basically his guy, but he pulls him out of the team and leaves the New Warriors high and dry. And then we get into, I love this, we get into the bookkeeping. And this is his CPA friend, certified public accountant, helped raise him. I didn't say that. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. Your job is to develop a plane and deal with Retrodyne. They've been supplying black market tech to the upstarts. The upstarts, he means the new criminal organizations. And look at this expression. At this point, I'm in love with this issue because I'm maybe six pages in, and I need issue 15, and I need issue 17, and I need more context and understanding of what's happening or what did happen with Night Thrasher and the New Warriors. And here we go. The boys are back in town. They are fighting criminals. We see a gun deal. I guess this is a gun deal gone wrong, if this is how we end up with the gun deal. But look at these poses, aka padders. These are 90s guns, but look how Art Nichols just he reminds you what era you're in. But he's also drawing these guns more effectively, better. He's drawing the hands, he's drawing the foreshortening for the arms, better than a lot, like craftsmanship wise, right? Better than a lot of the image stuff. The image stuff had a different gloss, but I'm talking about the mechanics of the drawing. Night Thrasher bounces around. He split kicks. Taint your wagon over here. Then you need some color in your cheeks. And here we go. Rage is just... they're trying to nuke Rage. Rage makes his way through all the fire, breaks the guns. Oh man, I guess these power packs do have a punch. Right, they're tracking down the tech. Night Thrasher is not having any of it. Shut up. I want to talk about where you got the guns now. And look at the rage in his face. So you're like, at this point though, let's just say we didn't have like this anchor here. And let's just say we have maybe like another pose of him. A little bit of an action pose, like same type of shot here, but a little bit different. If you didn't know any better, and you, again, we're reading this for the first time, and we have to address these questions as we read comics because it helps us understand the material as we're in the moment of reading it. If this wasn't here, we may assume that Night Thrasher, like, he might kill one of these guys. And look at this. I mean, that's someone Art Nichols knows. But look at these faces. Art Nichols, absolute master. Right? So, because we're so convinced that this dude's life is in danger. But we know that's not going to happen because we have this type of anchor. A lot of comic book storytelling is subliminal. But look, he's got the RoboCop blades out. He's ready to go. And that's what the insert was. We're doing a X-Men Captain Universe. Look at the Greg and Tim Hildenbrandt artwork here, though, for Captain Universe. They did a lot of great work at this time. A lot of good trading card artwork. Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. Check that out. They did a trading card set. I believe they even have an art book for that. Yeah. And they're collecting info, right? Classic collecting info tropes here. Hang a guy out the window. Have a conversation. You know, have a buddy moment. Ready? Go for it, right? Like hang 10. Rage was super popular when he was first introduced in Avengers. He had a tiger mask. They redesigned him for this. And the character really never came back from this. But Rage popped. Rage and Night Thrasher together. That's really like a combo that we want. It's almost like a new Heroes for Hire. But look, again, great pose here. I love those little ankles. Everything here. I just want to showcase storytelling points. So we established this garage here. We've all seen this, right? Like here's the motor. The gate rises. But look at these lines. They double as action lines, but they're also establishing that he's in front of the garage gate. Really nice stuff. And I like the quickness of some of these lines here. Right? Like we're just boom, like banging it out. Let's get it done. Explosions and smoke. This is one of the ways we can test the fortitude and the full ability of illustrators. When illustrators cannot effectively draw smoke, fire, every illustrator has a weak spot. They just do. I'm sorry. Art Nichols doesn't do smoke very well. He does not do the situation. But we see a little bit of a bomb diversion. Smoke bomb goes off. The boys, they move through the room. They get through everyone. This is what I mean about not being able to render the smoke dissipating. It's not quite that, but we get some nice digital coloring here. The shadows help. And then boom, Prowler drops in. AKA Powders, I cannot tell you, and I kind of want to go back to watch. Where is it? I want to go back to watch this movie. Hold up here, guys. I'm going to the shop. I want to go back to watch this because when we are introduced to the Prowler for the first time in Into the Spider-Verse, is he in this pose? This pose, I don't. Everyone will say, "Well, we always get introduced to Spider-Man or Wolverine in the same right." Prowler is a low-frequency character. The amount of times I've seen him introduced in this pose, including his first appearance, it's vast. There is zero exaggeration there. For whatever reason, it could just be and he's a guy in a cape, right? So he doesn't have a special silhouette, but there's something about I think the attitude of the character that illustrators are just drawn to, and they've seen it and they're like programmed, and they just do it. But this is great. It's a hard, AKA Powders. This is a difficult shot because we're coming down from up here. And we need a character looking in that direction. All the perspective doesn't quite work here, but that's not the point. The point is, do we know what's happening? Is it communicated? Period. And is it of a certain quality? Okay, so maybe now that's another period. Hey, up here. Who? Another one? It's Moon Knight. Kill them both. I love this comic book trope. I love it when a new dumb costumed hero is introduced into a situation and it's like the regular people just don't care. This dude doesn't care. He's like, I have my giant gun here. I'm just a criminal. I'm trying to pay some money. I'm trying to get some money for a couple Miller High Lifes, some champagne, of beers, pay my rent, and I don't know, probably get some blow. And then the Prowler is introduced. Now, and let's just say you're not familiar with these characters, but he's introduced to the reader for the first time here. I don't want the public to know much about me, but I want you to remember my name. What's my name? The Prowler. The Prowler. So already, let's just say, again, we're buying this for the first time. We want more of him. We want these two guys to team up. Their futures are not known, right? Like, Night Thrasher transforms his life in the first couple pages of this issue. But you can read this again, like little Timmy at his grandma's. It's just like, you guys have to take me back to the comic store. Who is this Prowler guy? How do I find out about him? I hope the comic shop guy knows. Otherwise, I'm just going to be digging through back issues, hoping to find something my allowance can afford. Good work. I've been after these guys for weeks. So these two go back and forth, and the Prowler's even like, if you have resources, why don't you use your resources to help new heroes? Like, literally. Like, it's like Shark Tank, the Prowler, and look at the Prowler. Right? But Prowler, Shark Tank's Night Thrasher, have you ever thought about providing working capital to other heroes? I've got enough backseat drivers with the Warriors. Well, God, you just left the Warriors. What's he doing? He's unhinged, but look at that 90s cape. We're almost done here, AKA Patterson. Here we go. Prowler leaves. He's done. You're willing to line the pockets of bad guys, but draw the line at helping heroes. This is amazing because throughout the entire issue, we think Night Thrasher is just frustrated and he's just a little bit unhinged, but he's just so dedicated to everything he's doing. We think that this dude is dedicated, but no, maybe he's walked too close to the line and he's pulling rage with him. So our boy here, he just, I guess he gets out, he climbs up the wall. Sure, whatever. What a jerk. And then here we go. Shield. Keeping tabs on Night Thrasher. The Night Skater, the Night Scanner got it all. Video and audio. Now Shield's got the goods, and we've got them on tape. Next issue, the bottom line. Like, you're just like, oh my God. So, AKA Patters, we're going to do all 3 issues. When we consider great issues and what's impactful, a lot of times we come into these with the idea, with the precept that we don't know anything. Whenever you make a comic, whenever you read a comic, you cannot know everything, even with the internet. So you have to build all these things into the story naturally. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But when it comes to great single issues, this is one fantastic single issue. I cannot measure it against anything else in the series, because a lot of times the comics that end up in our collection, sometimes we have only one of something. And every comic is someone's first comic. This hits it on all cylinders. And I really dug the artwork. I really did. Art Nichols is just, again, look at that expression. And let's get to the other dude that was freaking out. Over here. Where's he at? No. Let's get to look at this dude's face. Tell me this isn't good.